You ever have one of those moments where life throws something at you and you just freeze? Like, you're in an argument and 10 minutes later in the shower, you come up with the perfect comeback? Or you're at work and your boss asks a simple question, but your brain suddenly decides to take a vacation? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you there's a battle tested mental framework that could help you think faster, make better decisions, and stop second guessing yourself? No, it's not some self help nonsense about manifesting success by thinking really hard. It's something fighter pilots use to not die in air combat. And it's called the OODA Loop. If it works in dogfights at Mach 2, it can probably help you decide whether to text your ex back. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to OODA loop your way through life like a pro. What is the OODA loop? All right, let's break this down. The OODA loop was created by John Boyd, a U.S. Air Force colonel who was basically the Yoda of strategy. He figured out that in any fast-paced, high-stakes situation, people go through 4 steps. First, observe, gather information. What's happening? What's the situation? Second, orient, analyze it. What does it mean? How does it affect you? Third, decide, choose an action. What are you going to do? Fourth, act, do the thing, execute. And then, repeat the cycle faster than your opponent, whether that's an actual enemy, a difficult decision, or just Monday morning. The faster you can process and loop through these 4 steps, the more control you have. Think of it like a real-life cheat code for winning arguments, crushing work, and avoiding regrettable texts. The OODA loop in everyday life. Now, you're probably thinking, cool, but I'm not in a fighter jet, and my biggest battle is deciding what to eat for dinner. Fair. But let's apply the OODA loop to situations you actually face. The OODA loop at work. Outsmart office chaos. Picture this. You're in a work meeting, and your boss suddenly asks, "What do you think about the new project?" Your brain. Error 404. Opinion not found. Instead of panicking, use the OODA loop. Observe. What's happening? Your boss is looking at you. People are waiting. Orient. What do you know? Maybe you skimmed the email. Maybe you have no clue. But you remember Steve in accounting loves this project. Decide. Pick a smart move. You can either give a general statement or bounce the question back. I think it has potential. Steve, what's your take on it? Act, say it with confidence. Boom. You just OODA looped your way out of an awkward moment. The OODA loop in dating. No more awkward conversations. Dating is basically combat, but instead of missiles, you're dodging awkward silences. Imagine you're on a first date and there's a lull in the conversation. Most people freeze or blurt out something weird like, "So, do you believe in aliens?" But if you OODA loop, observe, the conversation just died. Orient. What's your best move? Ask about something they mentioned earlier. Decide. Go with, you said you love traveling. What's the best trip you've ever taken? Act, say it confidently. And just like that, you dodged a conversational crash and burn. The OODA loop in arguments. Winning without losing. Ever been in an argument where you just can't think fast enough? Someone says something, and instead of a good comeback, you just sit there like, well, you're wrong. Next time, use the OODA loop. Observe. What's being said? What's their tone? Orient. What's their real point? Are they mad, frustrated, or just trying to prove they're right? Decide. Should you fight back, de-escalate, or use humor? Act. Deliver your response calmly, logically, or with a joke that throws them off. You just processed faster than them, and suddenly, they're the ones scrambling for words. How to get better at using the OODA loop. Now that you know how it works, let's level up your OODA skills. Step 1. Train your brain to observe faster. Pay attention. Most people walk around like NPCs in a video game. Start noticing body language, tone, and patterns in people. Example. Spot when your boss is in a good mood before asking for a raise. Step 2. Orient yourself quickly. Don't overthink. Analysis paralysis is procrastination in disguise. Use experience. If something worked before, it might work again. Ask yourself, what do I already know that helps here? Step 3, decide with confidence. The faster you decide, the more control you have. Even a half-right decision made quickly is better than waiting forever. Speed beats perfection. Just ask anyone who's ever dated a chronic overthinker. Step 4, act like you mean it. Confidence is everything. Second-guessing yourself. Mid-action is how things go wrong fast. Commit. If it's wrong, OODA. Loop again and adjust. Why the OODA loop wins. Most people go through life reacting slowly to everything. The ones who win, whether in business, relationships, or just not getting stuck in dumb arguments, are the ones who think and act faster than everyone else. That's what the OODA loop does. It's not about being perfect. It's about being faster, smarter, and more adaptable than whatever life throws at you. So next time you're in a tough situation, instead of freezing up or overthinking, just OODA loop your way through it. And trust me, once you start using it, you'll never look at decision making the same way again. Now go out there and start looping.